Iron Custom. I'm Michael, and I hope everyone is having a great day. All right, guys. Can you see me now? All right, guys. We're back, and we're back at it. So I've spent a little bit of time today. I've been putting up signs, trying to get this cleared out around the truck. Still got a lot of cleaning to do. We need to make it where we can set the cab off of the truck, have it in the shop, and be able to move it back and forth between this bay and that bay. And that may not even happen this month. It may be into March before we get that far along. But I thought I would start tying the side to side together in efforts that we can start taking this truck apart. So you just saw me sitting in the truck. I was sitting on a 6x6 with a 2x4 of a 6x6 piece of lumber, which would be, I think, 5.5 by 5.5. Guys, I can't do the math in my head for you guys. Across the pond right now, it's like 132, I think. So 137, somewhere around 140 millimeters by 140 millimeters. But I have a piece of 2x4 square tubing sitting underneath it. So I'm about 8 inches off of the ground. So we can actually lift the floor of this truck. I feel like we can lift the floor of this truck 6 inches. And that will let us go, when we put the 2x4 for frame, that's going to let the truck go down 2 inches. And then we're going to have 2 inches in there that's going to take up space for the bushings. We're going to have the bushing plate on the top will be underneath the frame. We'll show you that when we get into it. And then you have the thickness of the bushing. I want to leave about an inch, 3/4 of an inch to an inch between the chassis and the bottom of the truck, so the bushing can flex. I'm using modern bushings, modern cab bushings like off the F-150 on this. And then we will have 4 inches more that the truck will go down. We're going to have to do the math as we get into this. But what something I was thinking about was the pedal quadrant. I'm using a T5, so I have a T5 pedal quadrant. The clutch on a T5 on Mustang goes through to this cam, which runs the cable. We have a new cam, the new style cam that's an aluminum cam to pull the cable. But we've got to keep this. What I had thought about the last few days was doing a 90-degree and put the booster underneath the. Well, this is not going to allow us to do this with this quadrant. But something I have noticed is that we can go, if we use a 7.5-inch booster, which is a little bit bigger than this wheel, we can go to there with the booster. And I measured down to 6 inches, comes to like right here. So we'll have plenty of room for our booster. I think we'll have plenty of room for our pedals. If we got to shorten them, we just got to shorten them. So we're going to go with 6 inches. Why? Because, I don't know, why would we go by half measures? Okay, guys, let's try this again. Apparently, it's the first time I've ever used a camera. All right. So what we got is I got the floor cleaned out in here. You can see the mount bolt right there and the mount bolt right there. What we're running into is when I raise the floorboard up, it's going to run right through the middle of that triangle, and then you raise the firewall up. When this place of the toe board goes up, you're going to have a big open space right there that's going to be open on the outside of the truck. So we're going to have to make some sort of a plate to go there. It wouldn't be so hard. We could just, make something and weld over what's already there. But for me personally, and this is my truck, you do your truck however you want to do it. I'm going to cut the floorboard completely out of the truck and make a new plate. So what we're going to have to do is get the get the inside of the cab shored up. We're going to run some box tubing from one side to the other and from the front of the door back to the other so that nothing moves. And we're going to go ahead and completely remove the floor out of the truck. And at that point, I think we'll probably also be able to go ahead and remove the firewall. And, you know, we're going to go ahead and pull everything out of here that doesn't move so it won't be in the way. But before I do that, I want to get the windows, the door windows welded in. I'm going to get both of those done. I want to get these places. Oh, dear God, look at that. I'm going to have to fill that in. The other side is just as bad. And get all the rest of the welding done from the chop top before we get into that. So that's all we're going to do today. Tomorrow we'll be back and weld those door frames in. I've spoke with Glenn, and I don't know whether it's either going to be, it won't be tomorrow night because, you know, he said he couldn't do it tomorrow night. So it'll be either Tuesday or Wednesday. We're going to work on getting that battery finished up for the Explorer. And that'll be, hopefully we'll have that video one day this week. And that's it, guys. Like I said, we'll come back tomorrow, weld that stuff up, get some more welding done, and go from there. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Y'all like and subscribe. And like I said, I'll see y'all tomorrow.